Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends Series Retro Spider-Man, the fan channel exclusive deluxe figure. This is Marvel's Kingpin. So the card back is awesome. It is the same as the retro, just enlarged. So if you have the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Hulk, or if you have the gray Hulk, this is the same size card that they have. So it's really cool that they did that. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do other figures. Maybe we'll get a Rhino like this, or maybe we'll get some other kind of figure. I'm thinking that we will get something crazy like the Fantastic Four retro figure, the Doctor Doom that just got announced. Maybe we'll see like a Dragon Man on that type of card in this size packaging. That would be really cool. But anyway, same retro card. We get the figure here. We actually get a look of Kingpin in his classic suit from the comics. Looking at the back of the card, it is the same as the Spider-Man ones. And then the little gimmick that it shows is, you know, you could do a head swap since it comes with an extra head. The bio for Kingpin reads, Wilson Fisk ruthlessly rules New York City's underworld with cunning and a keen intellect. So there we go. And as you can see, I will do a comparison with the Build-A-Figure Kingpin, and I have a second one because I did the Shadow King. So now I'll have a more classic Kingpin. Okay, and there is the Kingpin figure out of the package. So it's basically the same. There is some slight retooling because this one has an ascot versus the tie that you see on Shadow King and the previous Build-A-Figure. And then he does come with the diamond cane. The difference with this one is that this one has is brown, whereas the original one in the Build-A-Figure was black. But other than that, the mold is going to be the same. So the head sculpt, we did get this same head sculpt with the Kingpin Build-A-Figure. This one is just kind of has a battle damage, so he's gotten into a fight with either Spider-Man or Daredevil, I would say. But that's really the only difference. But let's get in and take a closer look at Kingpin. So I really like the battle damage head sculpt. I think it looks really good. We actually get like a cut on his lip here, cut in his eyebrow up here, nice bruised left eye. Look at that cut right there. Those all look really good. It's nice to see that they're not afraid in some cases to do things like this where they actually show kind of a little bit of blood and things like that. So that is pretty cool. The ascot, as you can see, it is basically the same upper torso. It's just the slight retooling. You can actually see some same kind of indentations in there, so they just simply kind of adjusted this top piece there. Otherwise it is the same. We get red handkerchief there as opposed to purple on the original release, and then again, other than that, it is the same, but we get purple pants, the same black shoes. The shirt, or the vest that he's wearing, I should say, is orange. The shirt underneath is white. And I don't know if they did that. So he's wearing a black shirt, but they didn't even paint that section there black. So I guess they kind of went lazy on the Build-A-Figure. But here, well, I mean, I guess that's the same laziness, but you can't really tell what color shirt he has on underneath the vest. But that's really it. There's nothing else that's kind of going on there. So back, you know, when the Build-A-Figure released, I got a second one so I could do the whole Shadow King thing, since we got the Shadow King head that came with the Professor X. So now I have the Shadow King, I have a Kingpin, and now I have a battle damage Kingpin. And then one thing I do want to point out, because he does come with this head right here, which is the same as the Build-A-Figure head that I have. This one, he actually has gray eyebrows, but on the new one, he has black eyebrows. So somebody on Instagram was also telling me how he's going to do his. He's going to have one, an older Kingpin, and then a younger Kingpin. So you can also do it that way if you're going to keep your previous Build-A-Figure, or if you wanted to kind of change things up. That is an option that you guys have there. So let's zoom out and take a look at his articulation. Okay, so not a whole lot of movement in Kingpin. He can't really look down because his chin hits that ascot, which really hinders that. He can look up that much. You get not really a whole lot of pivot going on, but you get the full rotation in there, of course. Shoulders go out that high, and they can pop out, because again, this is a Build-A-Figure. It was kind of designed to do that. So you can get the shoulder to go up that high without popping it out. You get a full rotation in there. Let me see if I need to pop it in a little bit more, put a little bit of force. We have swivel at the elbow, and it is only a single joint, so you're only going to get that much bend. So that's just under 90 degrees there. The wrists swivel, and they do hinge as well. The upper torso, he's got a diaphragm rocker, as you can see there, but he's pretty limited. That's where you're going to get your turn, since there is no waist swivel. Let's see if I can kind of, you get some pivot in there, but it's pretty limited. Going forward, only a tiny bit. Going back, not really a whole lot, and the coat's really gonna kind of hinder that articulation anyway. Legs go out that far apart. He can kick forward that much, which isn't very high. There is an upper thigh cut there. You get a single jointed knee, which gives you that much bend. There's also a swivel at that knee. Foot hinges down very lightly, hinges up very lightly. There is ankle pivot, but the pant leg over the shoe kind of really hinders that ankle rocker, and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So Kingpin is limited in articulation, and he's a big guy. He can move around pretty well, but he's just going to look kind of pretty intimidating when you put him on a shelf. And for some size comparisons, here's Kingpin next to Daredevil and Daredevil. And for the last size comparison, we have Kingpin versus the vintage or retro Spider-Man also. So all a part of kind of the same wave, although he was kind of deluxe, separate, and then a fan channel exclusive, but just towers over Spider-Man. Okay, so my final thoughts on the Kingpin figure. If you have the previous Build-A-Figure, this one definitely isn't a must-buy, but if you missed out on that Build-A-Figure, I think this is one that you're definitely going to want to pick up. Link in the video description below to order if you haven't already. But the Kingpin is very nice. He is the more classic look. It is not the animated series. This is a classic comic book look to him. And then for those that maybe don't open your figures, the retro cards are awesome. I hang all of mine on the wall. I always have either I only get one or I get a second one so I can display it on the wall, but I have all of the vintage figures on card hanging on my wall, and I will get a second Kingpin eventually so I can hang on my wall because I think they just display nicely. So I love the whole vintage card thing. So it is a subline. It's not one of those things where you have to get the figures. I mean, you have some where you know, they're all new, and like this Daredevil and stuff that they maybe eventually will get a single release, since it is a lot of new sculpt and tooling and stuff, but for now it's on that vintage card. But that's how I think of the Kingpin. So, you know, it could be an easy pass for a lot of you guys, but it's definite pickup for some of you guys that missed out on the Kingpin Build-A-Figure, because the distribution on that wave was terrible. So you guys let me know down in the comments below, are you getting the Kingpin? How are you passing on it? If you like the video, please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.